Okay, so first question in this on 14 is to explain or state why the acid is warmed in stage 2. So we've got a reaction here of an acid and a base. The reason we warm it up is to increase the rate of reaction. On to B. How do we know when the copper oxide is in excess in stage 4? So this is stage 4. Well, up until that point, the copper oxide will, in fact, dissolve into the sulfuric acid. But once it's in excess, the copper oxide will stop dissolving, or will be left with a residue of copper oxide. And that helps us with our answer to C. So why is it filtered in stage 5? Well, you've added copper oxide to excess. So actually what you've got is a residue of copper oxide sitting in your beaker. So that's what we want to get rid of. So it's to remove the excess copper oxide. D, state the color of the filtrate obtained in stage 5. This is where it's important to understand the reaction going on here. So we've got copper oxide and sulfuric acid. So this is a base and an acid, so we form a salt plus water. So water forms alongside the salt, and the salt that forms comes from the metal, so copper, and also the type of acid we use. So we're using sulfuric acid, so that will produce copper sulfate. So we've got two products here, copper sulfate and water. And this is where we need to know that copper sulfate is blue. So that would be the color of the filtrate. Moving on to this longer question. So we've now got that filtrate, copper sulfate solution, and we want to generate a pure dry sample of the copper sulfate. So we've got basically 5 stages which we need to remember how we do this. So the first thing to do is to heat the solution. Now we heat it to a certain point. So we heat it until its crystallization point. So it's still a solution, but it's a very saturated solution. Once we've heated it, we need to leave the solution to cool. Now at that point, some of the crystals are formed, but you'll still have some excess solution left over. So to separate the solid crystals that form from the excess solution, we filter it. And finally, just to make sure we've got a dry sample of crystals, we can dry the crystals. Now you need to suggest a sensible way of drying it. So we can leave in a warm, dry place. Alternative, if you want to be a bit more technical, we can leave it in a desiccator, which will also help to dry the crystals out.